Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL that's just been played. Gentlemen, how are we?
I wish I bought my sunglasses.
Don't you love my shirt? I mean, look at this. This is a watermelon Rabbitoh shirt. Now, my daughter Jessica got it for Father's Day, so you
Good
can't
on you,
don't
Jess. Good on you,
you
Jess.
can't be nasty to her.
Yes, yes.
Brian, you can't be nasty either.
If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything.
Is that the way it works, is it?
Well, it is when it comes to Jess. I like her.
Yeah. So you don't like my other kids, is that what you're saying?
I don't like that shirt. Oh.
It's a beautiful shirt,
Listen.
Jess.
By the end of the show, you guys will be wanting this shirt. Although it'll probably be a bit big for you, but I'll guarantee you want the shirt. I'll ask the question at the end. Do you really want this shirt?
Yeah, you can ask now.
You can ask any time at all. It won't happen.
So we're going to talk about the round of NRL that's just been played, and it's been, if we just deviate a little bit, it's been an incredible week. And there's a lot to talk about outside of the games that have been played. So we don't have that much time.
No.
So do you want to discuss Sonny Bill? Do you want to discuss the send-off to Townsend? Do you want to discuss Packer and Reynolds leaving the Tigers early? Do you want to discuss Griffin to Saints? Which one would you like?
Or Peter V'landys and his nonchalant attitude towards AFL, which I love.
He's a leader.
He's not bad, is he?
Just on that, I really want to say something because for a long time, as a rugby league fan, we love our product. We love what the NRL do. We love the teams. We love the game. You know, I'd go and watch park football if there was no Sea Eagles running around. I love the game. And for the last 15 years, as fans, we've been told, oh, the AFL's coming to get us. Peter V'landys has basically said, yeah, they're like the poor cousin. Who cares? I'm loving it. I'm dead set loving it.
Yeah, you got to love the attitude.
And Andrew Abdo was on 360 last night.
Yeah.
And you could see the blatant difference between him and Todd Greenberg.
Yeah.
Todd Greenberg used to get up and put spin out.
He was a politician.
Andrew Abdo was giving very clear, concise details about what the plan was going to be. There was no spin. It was simply this is what the game needs. This is how people are hurting. We've heard them. We want to engage them more, and we want to fix the problems. You know, and I really thought it was great.
Yeah. So just hats off. Every time I hear Peter V'landys and Andrew Abdo, I'm more happy that they're in charge. Every single time they encourage me to love rugby league more.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next topic.
Yep.
Very quickly, Sonny Bill Williams, success, failure. What do you think?
What I expected. He'll get better.
I expected him to have a bit more fitness than what he actually had. After 5 minutes, he was puffing and barely able.
6 months he hasn't played.
So.
And he was out of condition when he was playing.
But he's been playing up till last year. There's been a lot of players who have come in who haven't played, who are reserve grade players, who last a whole game.
I think he'll get better.
Tom, as a Roosters fan,
Yes.
is he seriously in your top 17 if everybody's fit?
Probably not. But
Okay.
he's Sonny Bill Williams, and he brings to the game a lot more than just his gameplay.
Right.
I wonder how that'll play out though if he doesn't improve dramatically. And
Well, he said himself, I might not get to play.
My concern is he's only got 3 games.
Yep.
To the
Look,
semis.
Trent Robinson, I think, is the kind of man who, if he needs more and he's going to get it from another play, he'll sit down and talk to Sonny, and Sonny will go, "Yep, whatever's good for the team."
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm not trying to bag him. I'm just
Yep.
saying I was surprised about how unfit he was after all he's done and all the training.
Possibly, but I think that he'll get better with some conditioning.
All right.
Yeah.
Townsend from the Sharks. Send off, not send off. Look, everyone's going off about this as to whether it shouldn't have been a send off. It was an accident.
Dude, accident my backside.
Yeah, no, it was
Like,
intended.
you can't hit a bloke in the head and you can't hit him with their shoulder.
Well,
and you can't hit him when the ref's called time off.
They said
the argument is he accidentally, he didn't hear the call and he didn't hit him in the head.
Oh, but he launched himself.
Yeah, but he launched
ground,
himself.
So
he got what he deserved.
So how did he get his broken nose?
That was before.
Earlier.
That was before.
It was already
He
broken.
broke. Yeah.
Mate, let me just tell you, if they had suspended him, I think he got 3 weeks, 4
3
weeks.
weeks.
If he'd gotten 8 weeks or 9 weeks, we'd still be sitting here going, okay. I think it's ridiculous that he only got 3. That was as bad or worse than 3 or 4 send-offs and high tackles
Well,
this year.
theoretically, he gets to play finals, assuming
Which isn't right.
The Sharks are in.
Josh Reynolds and Russell Packer leave the Tigers game early
Because they're
cold. On a night that actually wasn't all that cold.
I don't know.
Tigers were what, 16 behind or something, 10 behind, something like that at half time when they left. They missed the fight back.
Would the whinging be the same had they just went on and capitulated?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's still a team thing. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Personally, I think that's enough. I mean, Maguire's come out, apparently he's been tempered by media and by the feedback from the club, and he's gone, that's not compulsory that they're there. If it was any of my club's players, sitting there and left before the game finished,
Yeah.
I would be ropeable. I would be filthy.
I agree, especially when they're not performing.
And maybe it says something about the culture within the club.
Well, and that
the
surprises
attitude of the
with Maguire. I'm surprised he hasn't said, no, it's not acceptable that they did that, and I'll be talking to him.
Maybe he's being tempered because I think he's been painted as the over-disciplinarian, the harsh taskmaster.
Let me just tell you,
softening his image.
they won't have a contract next year.
No, I don't think so. Oh, well, they've been told they can't.
Well, the problem
anyway.
is they've still got to pay half their salary to get them
Well,
out. Nobody wants
they're
them.
actually, I've
Nobody
heard a
wants
rumour they're actually looking legally, because they left, legally as to whether they can actually just sack them. So,
Yep.
Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
So Griffin to Saints, good or bad?
Good. That's good. They needed tough character. And they needed somebody who wasn't from the Dragons.
So obviously you don't work for Channel 9, and neither do you.
Well, I think that Griffin is excellent at identifying talent and structure play.
Yeah.
And so I think that his style of coaching will take a team a long way.
It depends on who he surrounds himself with. And can we assume that Shane Flanagan's still going to be there?
I don't know. I would be surprised if he is. He can coach from next year or the year after.
Yeah.
From
No, not next
year after.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is they've only given Griffin a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
Look, in saying that, look, what they need is that, and the Dragons know it. The Dragon supporters know it. They've got Illawarra talent all throughout the NRL, and it's not at the Dragons.
Yeah.
They need someone who's going to say, this bloke will make it, and we will give him a shot in first grade.
As it appears he did at the Broncos and to a large extent
and
at the Panthers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, in my mind, the only reason he got sacked at Penrith was because they needed to sign Nathan Cleary and they needed to bring Ivan back to
I
do
wonder
that.
if there's a condition, though, that he picks the team and he decides who they buy.
You'd have to imagine.
Because I couldn't imagine he would have gone there to say, no, you treat me exactly the same way you treated me.
Yeah, you would have had to set some guidelines, I think, on how you coach.
Anyway, yeah. So
Yep.
I think it's a good move.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go on to round 17, gentlemen, of the NRL, which was started last Thursday, where the Panthers beat the Broncos 25-12, and this was the best performance of the Broncos all year.
Yeah, their defence was
Well,
solid.
Since COVID.
They gave away 25 points, but their defence was trying and trying all night. Their line defence was pretty good for a lot of times.
In saying that was probably the worst the Panthers have played for a long time as well.
But maybe it was because the Broncos held them out. I thought the Broncos were really quite good in defence.
The Broncos were good. I think we all agreed that the Broncos were, the Panthers were going to win by 30 or 40.
Well, I tipped plus 30. First time ever.
I haven't put your tip in yet, Steve. I know you picked the Panthers.
Thank you, I did.
And I know I did as well.
You know what? I'm this close to picking the Broncos. I thought, I wonder if there's an upset on the cards. And
So therefore we shouldn't honour his tip now.
No.
No, but I did. I got it in before the game started.
Yep. So let me just say though, the Panthers have won what, like that's 10, 11 in
12.
a row, 12.
12, yeah.
Now seriously, if you're playing a team that's that underperforming, you've got to have. There is no way that this bunch of kids is that mentally tough to keep the hammer on and score 50 points. I think it was more Panthers off than Broncos on. Sorry, that's my call.
Okay.
Yep, you're entitled to it.
Fair enough. You
Even if
can be
you're
wrong, but
Yep.
you're entitled to it. Okay, all right.
Next.
So let's go on to McDonald Jones Stadium, where the Knights thrashed the Sharks 38-10. Honestly, the Sharks didn't look like they were in it.
Well, the Sharks have been good in attack most of the season, but terrible in defence, and that just shows. Plus, they lost Wade Graham. Well, Wade Graham went on report, and then they lost. When did they lose?
52nd minute.
Yeah.
Right.
They were well
They lost
behind when they
Townsend.
lost him anyway.
Yeah.
They weren't looking like losing. it was interesting. I know they said this game, Ponga got beaten up, and he did. There seemed to be a lot of headshots on him. But Cronulla were doing that. I don't know if they came out with the mentality of trying to rough up Newcastle, because it seemed to be a common thread throughout the whole game that they were very, very aggressive.
That's Sharks mentality.
I mean, you've got to remember there was almost a spear tackle. Two of the other players have been
that was
cited
how Wade Graham got on report.
Look, I don't know. Like, I think that the problem is that everyone's talking Sharks and the Knights don't deserve to be in the 8 anyway, and so they had to come out aggressive. They had to come out tough. They had to come out strong, and they had to put it over the Knights, because realistically now the Sharks could mathematically lose their spot.
Yes, they could.
Now, I'm not suggesting that's going to happen, but if they'd won this game, they're safe. All the pressure's released. Like, that was a must-win.
I think the Warriors are more deserving of being in the 8 anyway.
They are.
But,
so are Manly.
Yeah.
Why? Only because you didn't get smashed by 60 this week?
Brian, this isn't a comedy show.
All right.
The other thing is, I mean, I said last week that I'd be surprised if Newcastle win another game. They proved me wrong. Because I honestly thought the Sharks were going to offer a hell of a lot more than what they offered. I mean, the Sharks had 44% possession and 45% of the territory, and a completion rate of 71%. They threw nothing at the Knights.
Yep. Yeah.
Look, and
so were the Knights impressive? I don't know. Ponga was impressive.
Oh, look, I love the Newcastle prop rotation. Clement Safidi, and then you've got Guerra, Herman Esiesi, Josh King. Like, they've got good young guys coming on, and I rate Esiesi. I don't know why he's not in, starting somewhere else.
Yeah,
I know. Go to the Titans. So I rate what they're doing with their forwards, and I understand why Cronulla came out, but I'm surprised that they lost.
Yeah. All right, let's go to ANZ Stadium, where the Storm beat the Rabbitohs 22-16.
It was a good game.
It was a very good game.
Quality game.
The Rabbitohs had this. Well, I won't say they had it won, but they were certainly ahead
at halftime.
Well, and they should have been further. They should never have allowed that try in just before halftime, 30 seconds to go.
That's a killer.
But
also, too many mistakes, too many errors from the Rabbitohs in the second half.
So people have been saying for a long time that the Rabbitohs are pretenders, not contenders. They've come out the last couple of weeks and shown what they can actually do.
Yep.
Mind you, against opposition that didn't throw a lot at them. Based on this game, contenders or not?
Yeah, I think so.
I still don't think they're contenders. I think they're nearly top 4 quality, but I don't think they're contenders.
But wouldn't you consider someone who's top 4 quality to be although you said nearly top 4?
Yeah, nearly top 4. Well, fifth sort of, and they're 6th now, aren't they?
They're 7th.
I think that I'm concerned that the Rabbitohs don't have the depth of forwards to hold the big teams.
And that's what we said at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
forwards would be their problem.
In saying that, they've done way better than I thought. But when it comes down to it, Cody Walker is back on fire.
Yeah.
I think I even sent Steve a text message during that game to say, "Wow, he's channeling his inner Cliff Lyons." He just looked brilliant when he was running the ball.
Yeah.
And the Storm, which are a great defensive outfit, didn't look like they knew what to do with him.
Yeah.
But that's only done off the back of your forwards.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you fell down when that first rotation of forwards came off. The same as there's a number of clubs with that kind of lack of depth.
Yeah.
Left edge killed you again.
Yes.
Adokar, Olam, but then they would have killed anyone.
But then up against they were up against an experienced left edge, our right edge, which was Masters and Paulo.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I get it, and I understand that.
But speed anyway.
They had at half time, South's completion rate was very, very high, and they were placing their kicks well. They ended the game with 65%. They just kept dropping the ball in the second half.
Yep.
There's a lot of conjecture about the forward pass
from
Smith. Tell me your opinions. Yes or no?
It was forward.
Yeah.
It was forward, and it got him back into the game.
And then Annesley found ways to say it wasn't forward.
He found ways to say it wasn't as forward as people were saying,
but it
was flat to forward anyway.
Can you be a little bit pregnant?
I guess at early stages, are you a little bit?
You're either are or you aren't, is the point.
I've never been pregnant. I wouldn't know.
The point, you understand the principle, okay?
Yeah, no,
It's
that
forward
was
or it's not forward.
actually. I thought that was a really ripped off call, and it's the call that
It got
that
them back.
elevated the Storm to
Well,
win the game.
it got them back to equal score,
Yeah.
and then But look, South should never.
You had your
drop
chances
off.
in the second
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, and we're always there's always going to be dodgy calls, and
Yeah.
I just don't understand how they miss
I
it.
don't think it lost them the game.
But I was surprised how well the Rabbitohs played against Melbourne.
Yeah, I was pleased.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to ANZ Stadium on Saturday afternoon, where the Dogs beat the Titans 18-14. This was a funny game. I thought it lacked any punch, but
Can I just say the Dogs didn't beat the Titans? The Titans beat the
the
Dogs. The Titans beat the
What did I
Dogs.
say?
You said the Dogs beat the
Oh, did
Titans,
I? Okay, sorry.
which I would have been happy about.
Yes, Titans beat the Dogs.
Titans are really building well for next year. I mean, even if they weren't changing their roster, you'd have to say, geez, there are some good signs for next year, a good pre-season. But then you add the names that they're getting, and you think, whoa, they're at bottom of the eight sort of possibility, I think.
Yeah, but they're lacking something. And look, you're right. With those players that come in next year, they're going to be a lot better. But their consistency throughout the
Ash
game.
Taylor is their problem, I'm sorry to say. But they need a more consistent half who's going to give them a Terry Evans type performance every week. And they don't. They don't have it, unfortunately.
No.
I don't know. I don't think that's their problem.
No.
I just think they've been. We often say, you've got a winning mentality. So you take a team like the Roosters. They're in a game where they could lose. The opposition knows that they're going to keep coming, and the Roosters know what to do. The Titans have been in the bottom four for the last 10 years. It's just that mentality, and I actually think bringing in those fresh players, I think that will change it. I actually would not be surprised if they were pushing the top four next year.
I think Holcomb's making a big difference.
Do you think Smith will go there next year?
If he's going to go anywhere, he'll go to the Broncos.
Oh, look, he needs a 2-year deal. Come to Manly. We need a hooker.
Do you?
You sell your soul to the Devils? Seriously?
Oh, no.
Seriously, I can't believe you said that, knowing how much you despise Melbourne. Sorry.
I do despise Melbourne, but I still think Cameron Smith is still probably the best game manager I have ever seen in all of my time.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone manage a game
I think that's
like
without
he does.
dispute. You don't have to like him to know that.
Yeah, anyway. All right, let's go on to Lotto Land. This was a hard one for you, wasn't it? Tigers win 34-32, and what was it, 7 minutes to go? They were 16 points behind?
Yep.
What do you want to say?
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Did you guys see on the news that when Dewey was taking his kick,
Yeah.
and the guys falling out from the sideline?
Yeah.
That was funny.
And in the end, he followed their instructions, as it were, and he kicked the goal.
It went right and then left, and
Yeah.
it's over. Well done, thank you.
Yeah. That's got to be crushing.
That hurt. Seriously, that hurt.
And the thing is, you had 58% of the ball.
It hurt.
You had a better completion rate.
It just
All
hurt.
the stats were on your side.
It hurt.
Oh goodness.
Look, I think part of the problem is that it is that lack of depth and that ability to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll notice that the majority of tries were scored once George Tafua went down injured, and they had to push, another second rower out into the centres again.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, the good teams cover it. They know what their job is.
Yep.
And unfortunately,
the troops.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, we've got another 2 season-ending injuries out of that match.
Yeah.
Your standout, John Schuster,
I told you he was good.
and now he's gone for the season.
I told you he was good.
So what's he done?
Cinemosis.
He's gone.
I told you he was good. Benji Marshall's come out and said that is in all of his time, that is the best debut that he's ever seen in a player. The guy is great. Like, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
I've no doubt.
5'8"?
Yeah. I have no doubt that that these young guys coming through can add to the team.
I got to say, for the first time in many, many years, I feel for Manly.
It's hard to watch,
I
man.
truly do.
Yeah.
You've had so many injuries.
Yeah. And for a while there, you were really courageous, but it's just got too much.
There was a falling off, but look, can I just say, Morgan Harper, so Des talent scouted him at the Dogs and then brought him over to Manly. He scored 2 tries on debut.
Tavita scored a third.
Yeah, Tavita Whenua was good. Hopewadi was better. Schuster was good. And interestingly enough, I might talk about this game. Sorry about this, but Cherry Evans had 4 try assists and more kicks than he's had in any match this year while Schuster was on the field. As soon as he left, the wheels fell off.
It's the Blake Green effect.
Yeah, we just need... He needs a foil.
Yeah,
He does.
I like Des's comment in the press conference. He said,
which
there
one?
were 10 ways to win this game, but we found 11 ways to lose.
Yeah.
He didn't laugh when he said it, by the way.
David Nofaluma was great. Oh man, he carved him up.
He was a very good winger up until this year. And what's happened? He's turned into a sensational winger. He was a very good winger, but he's turned into a standout winger. He was never a standout winger before.
He's actually he's really elusive. Like, he's strong and he's got a good step. So he keeps... Wingers today always go for that little bit of grass right in the corner. Nofaluma will go bang and he's back the other way.
So do you think Joey's actually helped his game?
Joey
Leilua, do you think he's helped it? Because I know you said he's a ball hog, but I wonder whether in fact he's getting better service from Joey than he was before.
Don't know.
Maybe.
It's hard to say. Like, I honestly think he's just stepped it up. He's been fantastic.
He's been really good. Yeah.
Yes, and Adam Dewey was great as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He was at the end.
Well, the change of position was interesting. He went to centres.
He went to 5'8", I thought. He went
to centres. Yeah. Centre work.
Which is where he didn't want to be, why he left South to go to fullback. And
You know what? Winning covers a multitude of sins, though.
Yeah.
it does.
Playing fullback and losing, and then starting at fullback, having an occasional stint there, moving into the centres and winning.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll complain.
No.
Sure.
Okay, let's go on to GIO Stadium, where the Roosters beat the Raiders 18-6.
Yeah, boys. That was great. It was great.
All right. Tell us why you think it was great.
It was just a really tough game, and both sides were in the fight, and it was tremendous. It was just tremendous, and the defence on both sides was superb. The difference came down to James Tedesco.
Would you be upset if I said that Canberra got some dodgy calls?
I asked you the same question at the end of the first half because I was thinking the opposite.
Yeah, but
every week we win.
Second.
Every week we win. You say exactly the same thing. Oh, I think the Roosters got some good calls. They got the rub of the green.
I
say every single.
Yeah, but I do too. But again, like I said, I think it comes down to a winning attitude. It's like when things start to go your way and that you are full of confidence and full of running, like the Roosters are, I think that the little things on field go their way. And I actually think the Roosters got a couple of good calls, but not enough that they should have won by 3 tries to 1. That was just good.
Well, there was
solid.
one stage when the penalties were 6-1. Raiders didn't get a penalty until halfway through the second half. Things like that. There was
no. In fact, there was penalties conceded 6-3. So the Roosters conceded 6 and gave away and got 3. It says here penalties conceded 6-3. So
wrong.
you've got it wrong.
It's
so
wrong.
again, your bias is showing. Okay.
Oh look, I stand up and say extremely biased. And there was another time when there was a.
Don't take anything he says about the Roosters.
Only listen to me.
Seriously.
And there was a time when there was a penalty given to the Roosters where the Raiders should have got one.
Single moment in time.
There was 2 penalties happened at the same time.
I know that's 2. Hang on, there'll be 3 in a minute.
I'm right. You're wrong.
I've been very measured about the Roosters of late because we've had so many injuries, but this signalled to me a bit of a turning point. They're getting their players back, and I know that's sad for everybody else who isn't, but they're getting their players back, and they looked really good, and I think they can get a whole lot better.
I'm not sure they can get a whole lot better.
I think they can, honestly, because I think their attack is clunky. Their defence was sensational. I think their attack is clunky and it'll get better.
I'm wondering if you're not going to have a problem with Kiri though. He seemed to protect those ribs.
Oh yeah,
quite a bit.
He's come back early. He's come back early. He's got padding on it, and he'll get better as he gets more confidence and he's not getting hurt so much. But I mean, we've still got Orbison to come back to hopefully to break the record, which will be fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. We've got too many good players, and the lucky thing for the Roosters is they've blooded a whole lot of players who are playing really well now and earning their spots. And you've got all these other players coming back, and now he's got a dilemma of where you put them.
Can I just say, I agree with both of you. Oh, well, I agree with Steve in this particular instance. I think the Roosters are one of the premiership favourites, absolutely. But I don't know whether they can get much better. But I don't think they need to get much better
No,
to win
they
the
probably
comp.
don't.
That's the thing.
No, they probably don't. I mean, they easily put the Raiders to the sword.
Yep.
So you're right. I don't think they need.
And the Raiders threw the kitchen sink at them.
Oh, yeah.
Let's face it.
But I think the Raiders have a problem with their attack at the
Yeah.
moment. They're not attacking the same way they were last year.
It's very unstructured the way they attack.
Before it was Hodgson marshals everything from the middle, and now they've had to actually say, well, there's no Hodgson, so now it's got to come from different ways, and that's it's complicated.
I'm sure it is, but they just seem to be lacking an ability to score tries.
I was surprised White didn't take the line on more than he did.
He's an exceptional player.
No, he sure
Absolutely
is.
exceptional
Sure
player.
is.
Okay, let's go on to Central Coast Stadium.
I can't talk about it anymore. Oh, I love that.
Where the Parramatta Eels beat the Warriors 24-18, and I've got to tell you, I think the Warriors were unlucky.
They were dudded.
Yep.
What, that's it? Just yep. I think the Jazz Tavanga sin bin was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
It was dumb.
Yep.
And Parramatta scored 2 tries when he was off.
They did. Yeah.
I think that was ridiculous, and there was an incident where Nathan Brown just decided to put his knee on somebody's face while he was on the ground before, not me, and then standing up with his, and that wasn't a sin bin. I don't understand.
He used to be an exceptional player that was never dirty.
No, Steve.
Yes, he was.
No.
Yes,
Rabbitohs.
No, Steve.
No.
He was a downright.
He was a thug.
Every team needs a grub, and he was a grub.
No, he was a South player. We would never call them grubs. Never.
Oh, he was terrible.
Only in secret. Look, what do you say about the Eels? I mean, the Eels, at the middle, the Warriors, I think, are playing out of their skin at the moment. But I think the Eels have been underwhelming for the last few weeks.
Yep,
they really have, and they're going to up against the Panthers, I think, this week.
And the thing is, like, I'll go back to my probably most disliked player, but Mitchell Moses doesn't grab a game by the scruff of the neck and win it.
He's not at the moment, that's for sure.
Like, the thing is, people are talking him up as a potential Origin halfback.
No.
But what you want your Origin halfback to do is inspire the team, lead them to victory, take a game and just rip it away. He doesn't do that. No. I mean, he's good, but
beginning of the year, I think he was good, but yeah, I don't know. He did his ankle. I think he's not come back the same player.
Gutherson is still having an exceptional game, week in, week out.
He's got to be up there in the Dally M's. I don't think he'll win it, but he's got to be up there.
Sorry, Brian. You got to admit, he is exceptional.
Yeah, he really is.
Manly wouldn't have lost the other night if they still had Gutho.
King Gutho.
I don't know about King Gutho. That's just
that's what he calls himself.
Stupid name.
Yeah.
He calls himself.
I don't know. Apparently, he calls himself.
The fans love it. King Gutho.
Yeah.
I don't know. We wouldn't have, and we should never have let him go. And I wish Dad would get him back, but it's too late.
I got to tell you, I worry about Parramatta in the finals, but they're going to have to really improve substantially.
Well, I think they need to make their mark this week. Honestly, they have to put in a good show against Panthers, or else they're done.
Yeah. It might be a good showing, but they're not going to win it. Anyway, continuing on.
Okay, Queensland Country Bank Stadium saw the Cowboys beat St George Illawarra and Golden Point 23-22.
Jeez.
Poor old Dragons. Far out. I mean, I know that my team finds 11 ways to lose, but the Dragons can't close out a game.
No.
They had the Titans game in the bag. They had this game in the bag, and
And I think Norman was in charge in both occasions, I think, where they lost them by close margins.
Oh, see, I disagree. There's a lot of people bagging Corey Norman, but I think his last probably 4 or 5 games have been really, really good.
Well, yeah, but what do you compare them to? To the rubbish that he was serving up before?
No, I actually think he's been good. There was a reason that they signed him, and I think he's doing that job.
Well, maybe it's in the clutch moments I see that he's still failing.
Just, I think the problem is, and I mean no disrespect, but the young fella they've got playing at halfback,
Clune.
I don't think he offers a lot.
He made a few mistakes the other night.
Yeah, I think a couple of good things.
I mean, in saying that, he's only played a half a dozen first-grade games.
Yeah.
I'm not crucifying him saying he's no good, but Corey Norman's running that team, and if he doesn't get the ball and he doesn't make the decision, no one else does.
Dufty was winning them a lot of games up in the middle of the season, and he's not. He's doing nothing at the moment. Honestly, he's having no impact. So
yeah,
maybe you underestimate the impact that he had.
No, he's been shut down. I was a little bit surprised that I think the go-to man for the Dragons is Lomax, absolutely, and they did not go to him in the last 10 minutes.
No,
and I could not understand.
The most you see him is when he kicks the goals.
Did you see the end of the game where the ref put his hand up to call signal the game? Josh Maguire runs over to give him a high five.
Yeah.
He steps back and so he's going to give him a hug.
He can't be seen to be biased either.
No, I know. It was a funny moment, and I'm sure the ref's thinking, no, we can't talk.
You know what? I've bagged Josh Maguire lots of times because he's a grub. But I tell you what, you know what?
Not our opinion.
The one thing I'll
show.
give him is Josh Maguire will give you 110% every single week, and you've got to give him that.
Oh, look,
he never stops trying.
I think you need that player that niggles and gets under skin. And like I said, so Nathan Brown, I'd take him at Manly. Absolutely. I think it would frustrate me.
Jared, it's the same.
Jared's another one.
Jared, yeah,
gets in your face.
Josh Maguire.
Sam used to be like that.
I don't think they're the players that get the accolades for wins, but they must put teams off.
They unsettle the team.
Hey, and don't pick on Sam. He was an altar boy compared to some of the others.
Seriously,
he was an altar boy.
All right.
Well, I resist saying he was worse than any of them.
Okay, let's go.
Worse than any of them.
Who wants to do the ladder?
All right,
my turn.
No. Panthers sitting in first place on 31 points, out clear in front by 3 points. Storm in clear second, 28 points. We have the Eels clear third, 26 points. We have the Roosters clear fourth, 24 points.
It's getting clear, the top 8.
Is that the way it's going to stay, gentlemen?
I think
yes. Parramatta are my concern.
Parramatta could drop.
Parramatta
I agree. We have the Raiders clear 5th, 22. The Knights clear 6th, 21. The Rabbitohs clear 7th, 20. And the Sharks shakily on 18.
So there's no team in the 8 that actually is sharing points at the moment with any other team.
No, it is all clear, and that's why I wanted to make that point, obviously.
All clear, yes.
I just think, and of those teams, I do think Parramatta are a little bit shaky, and I do think the Sharks are a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
Then we have the Tigers and the Warriors on 14, Dragons, Seagulls, Titans on 12, Cowboys on 8, Broncos on 6, and the poor old Bulldogs 4. Lowly last spoons.
So there's no one else. It's only, what do we got? 3 weeks to go. So the Warriors and the Tigers can still make it. They can reach 20 points. That
But
would
the Sharks will
have to lose all their games. That's right.
Actually, if the Rabbitohs and the Sharks lose all their games, there is a mathematical chance that the Tigers, the Warriors, the Dragons, and the Seagulls could all push their way in.
Yeah, but once you start talking about mathematical...
I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe there's a little bit of hope for me.
No, you got...
I've got to live on it, Steve.
Well, you've got Canterbury, Gold Coast and Warriors, so they're possibly winnable games.
And Tom will be back.
You think Manly will beat the Dogs?
Can we field the team?
All right, let's go on to Thursday night's game at Bankwest Stadium where the Tigers are hosting the Rabbitohs.
Now, Steve, I've got a question for you about this game before we discuss it.
And I have an answer for you that will come to your question. What is that?
Corey Allen's at fullback.
Corey Allen was a fullback last week.
Yeah, but Alex Johnson wasn't in the team last week, and he is this week.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Was
That's
he?
what I
Yep.
think, yeah.
Yep.
What they've been
Still
doing.
observing, Brian.
Now, last week Johnson was announced at fullback, but they switched throughout the game. I didn't like it, I must admit, because a couple of times I noticed that Corey Allen had to almost panic to get under the ball. There were a couple of times he just managed to catch it. So they got to get that right. But yeah, it's interesting that that Bennett is now named Corey Allen as fullback, and we'll see what happens. Johnson,
Yeah, I think that's a good move because I think Corey Allen's more of a fullback than Alex Johnson is.
probably.
Okay. My second question, Steve, before I decide whether I'm going to pick the Rabbitohs. Jed Cartwright's on your bench?
What's wrong with Jed Cartwright?
Okay. All right.
He's a
Isn't he from the
Cartwright.
Beverly Hillbillies?
Just
No,
something?
that's Hoss you're thinking of. That's Bonanza.
No, that's Bonanza, okay.
All right. I think the Rabbitohs will win this well.
Tom?
Yeah, look, I think the Rabbitohs will win.
Wow, you say that so disappointingly.
It's the Rabbitohs.
The only change to the back line here is that Gagai is in as well, and Jackson Paulo's
Yeah.
off. So.
Okay. So Masters keeps his spot.
Masters has been playing really well.
Hmm.
I've been really impressed with
I
him.
thought he's been. Yeah, I think
That,
he's been
that
solid.
side has been doing a pretty reasonable job. I mean, they got outrun by that left hand side of Melbourne last week, but I think they've been doing a pretty fair job for such young players.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to ANZ Stadium on Friday night, where the Bulldogs host the Sea Eagles.
This could give the Broncos the wooden spoon.
Your
Brian.
season's on the line, Brian.
I could give the Broncos the wooden spoon.
Well, you've
I
been
know.
wanting it. You've been wanting it.
Won't that hurt if they beat you? That will hurt.
Oh, it will hurt. I know a lot of Bulldog supporters.
No foreign's going to be a big loss.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they can win without foreign, to be
No, I don't
perfectly
think so
honest.
either.
I mean, the Manly team's pretty weak. As I've already said, George Tafua and Josh Schuster are both out. Interestingly enough, Ben Travojevic has been named
Really?
in the reserves.
21. Right.
21.
Where does he play?
Where does he want to play?
Is it
Anywhere he
Is
wants.
it Travojevic? They'll find a space for him. Yes, he can play. He can pick.
Yeah, look, I don't know.
So is Tom coming back at all?
Maybe the last 2 games.
Right. You
I
wonder
wouldn't
whether
risk
it's
him.
worth. You wonder whether it's worth risking, honestly.
I think he will. Well,
He wants to play Origin.
You say
still-
that, but if you're a player and you're getting paid the big
Absolutely.
money, you want to play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know, but you know
And he
what?
loves the game whether he's getting paid a lot or
He
not.
does that damage again, and there goes his off season.
What are the chances?
What
well,
are the chances? He's done 3 already.
Well, but then his career's over if that happens. Because, he either does it now or he does it at the beginning of next season.
Well, they've
so-
signed him for like 7 years.
It'd be a tragedy if this keeps happening, honestly. Everybody wants to see Tom Travojevic on the field.
Yeah, especially
All
the
right.
Manly fans. All right, so Manly should win that without Kieran Foran, despite the
How are we going, Manly?
I think it's going to be tied. And I'm tempted to go to the Dogs.
Yeah, but you're
Because
right.
I think they're going to try and
seize
seize on the weakness of your team at the moment. But then again, the Sea Eagles are often indomitable against the odds. So, who knows?
Yeah, but it's not at Lotto Land. Which,
Well,
by the way,
yeah,
you've only
it
won
last
one
week.
game there.
one from 6. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm tempted to go to the Dogs, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Brian.
No, you're allowed to be wrong.
All right, let's go on to Panthers Stadium on the Saturday night as well, where they host the Parramatta Eels. This should be if Parramatta turn up, this should be a good game.
Parramatta. won't
Regan
turn up.
Campbell-Gillard back home.
Yeah, and I think he's been average lately.
I think this will fire him up.
Yeah.
So Reid Mahoney's been named start. I thought his shoulder was
Yeah, he
gone.
did a bad shoulder
I
injury.
think they're still waiting to hear.
If he doesn't get named, I reckon it'll be a non-event.
I think it's a non-event anyway. I think
Panthers will win.
I think the Panthers would be shocked after that game against the Broncos last week and come back firing.
And they're at home too. They're doing well at home. So yeah, Panthers to win.
Panthers.
But I hope the Eels push them.
I give the Eels some hope. I truly do. I don't think it's going to be the walkover that you guys are suggesting.
I'm not suggesting it's a walkover.
I am.
I reckon it'll be within 6 to 8 points. I think it'll be reasonably close.
Plenty. All right.
Somewhere you got to be, or
No, I gave myself a message to remember to do something.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sunday afternoon at Wynn Stadium, where the Dragons host the Raiders,
Oh, I can't see the Raiders losing 2 in a row.
and you can't see them losing to the Dragons, surely.
Oh, the Dragons have got flashes of brilliance.
Although this is a bit of a bogey game. These two teams usually go hammer and nail at each other.
Well, I don't know who Cody Ramsey is, but he's come into the team for Ravalawa. And
Ravalawa's, what's wrong with him? The knee?
Don't know.
He wears lots of bandages.
Paul Vaughan's back.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think that's a good move. I mean, they're strong moves.
And no Papali probably. Although not certain. Is Papali named?
Yep. Same 17 as last week.
Okay.
Good luck.
They reckon his shoulder's not as bad as he thought.
Raiders it will be.
Yeah, I'll go Raiders.
Steve? Don't worry about Barry. He'll hate you no matter what you say.
Okay, Raiders. Seabus Super Stadium, Titans and Broncos.
Titans. I think the Titans will win. They got their tails
I
up.
think the Broncos are going to get them. I think the Broncos they played. If the Broncos bring the game they played last week, they'll get the Titans. I believe.
They only scored 12 points.
Yeah, they scored 12 points against the Panthers.
It's hard. I mean, Alex Glenn, Joe Offengowie and Xavier Coates all back into the Broncos team.
Yeah.
That's a lot of experience and pace. Titans. Titans.
I'm going Broncos. Tom, you went Titans?
Yes.
Okay. Sydney Cricket Ground, Sydney Roosters against the Knights. No Ponga.
No
Ponga.
Yeah, I think the Roosters will win this.
Comfortably.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've got their tails up.
Which puts the Knights... Oh, no, they're not in danger, are they? They're 21 points.
Yeah,
They're
right. I mean, they can if they lose every game and miraculous things happen.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
So what do you reckon, Brian?
Oh, I think the Roosters will win comfortably, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I'm not a Roosters fan. And
I
want the Knights to have a good showing, but I just don't think they will.
All right, Sunshine Coast Stadium where the Storm are playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, talk about a comfortable win. The Storm should take this game apart.
Yeah.
Are the Cowboys playing to impress their new coach? Do you think? Because
Maybe.
he's going to make some tough decisions when he gets there. And being Todd Payton, from what we know of him, he's going to make some tough decisions.
Well, a few players have already been told you're gone next year.
Do we know
and a
who?
few others. There was a report the other day. I don't have any.
Masters, I thought, was getting him.
Masters is one. Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
I can't believe he was so good last
He was.
year.
Well, the
Middle of the
Tigers,
season, he was
so
really ordinary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want the hammer
Just
down
an
at Manly.
O'Neill,
We need some
I
pace.
think Kelly might be under threat. I think
Just an O'Neill, maybe.
Peachy is probably under threat.
No, they're at the Titans. We're
Sorry.
talking about the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys.
It's the glare of this shirt is just...
It's been a long day.
I was going to say, it's hurt my eyes.
You want
But
this
we
shirt,
love it,
don't you?
Jess. We love it.
You want this shirt, don't you?
All right, so we're all going the Storm in that one.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Sharks and the Warriors.
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 Yeah. Sharks have lost Townsend and Wade Graham.
And you know what? I think Wade Graham is a huge loss.
Absolutely.
So,
Warriors easy, you think?
not easy, and I think
They scrap.
and I think Sean Johnson will have an absolute blinder against his former club.
I
So there you
think,
go.
I think the Warriors will be able to muscle him. I think they'll actually hit him really hard.
Done. That's the games.
That's the game.
Steve, anything intelligent to add?
Ooh, turn the tables.
Sorry.
I said anything intelligent to add, and I can
Yes.
see that there's a nothing there.
Do you want this shirt? Because I'm happy to give you the shirt off my back.
Jess, she's trying to give it
He's trying to
away.
offload it.
Ask me where I got it.
Actually, sorry.
At Lowe's.
No.
No. And Steve, where did you get your shirt from?
I got this at Guy Stuff in Windsor.
Wow. Darren, I hope you're watching this. We are plugging your show again. Make sure you plug us.
First time in 6
Actually,
weeks.
we're
but
plugging
there
your
you go.
store, you plug us. No, that's an ugly shirt, Steve. And Joel, I know that Jess doesn't watch the show. Can you just make sure she knows that her father's trying to give away a shirt?
Jessica came home the other day and said, Dad, would you mind if I was a Sharks supporter?
What?
Ooh.
Yeah, I said, of course, while you're living here, you won't be a Sharks supporter.
Why would she say that?
Because she likes blue and she likes Sharks. Yeah. Jess, that's the look. Okay?
Wow.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to bring this to a close. Anything intelligent you want to add before we go?
Go the Roosters.
2021, bring it on, baby.
Go the Roosters in 2021. All right. Thank you for watching. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve on NRL from the Sidelines, and we'll do it all again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.